have reason to believe that not all of the Illuminati are human, but in actuality are alien beings that appear to look human. Andy Pero. The Illuminati, the clique which control the direction of the world, are genetic hybrids, the result of interbreeding between the reptilian extraterrestrial race and humanity many thousands of years ago. The center of power is not even in this dimension, it is in the lower fourth dimension, the lower astral as many people call it, the traditional home for the demons of folklore and myth. These fourth-dimensional reptilian entities work through these hybrid bloodlines because they have a vibrational compatibility with each other. This is why the European royal and aristocratic families have interbred so obsessively, as do the so-called Eastern establishment families of the United States which produce the leaders of America. Every presidential election since and including George Washington in 1789 has been won by the candidate with the most European royal genes. Of the 42 presidents to Bill Clinton, 33 have been genetically related to two people, Alfred the Great, King of England, and Charlemagne, the most famous monarch of what we now call France. It is the same wherever you look in the positions of power. They are the same tribe. The Illuminati Millennium Rituals by Arizona Wilder. The leading Satanists are full-blood reptilians cloaked in human form. The Reptilian Blood Legacy by Andrew Hennessy. Certain groups of power elite are in touch with them on a physical level. Well, many of them are implanted. Many of them are so implanted that they have now become part of the grave group mind. And the Andromedans no longer consider some of these human beings, Terrans as they call us, are human at all anymore. They're nothing but clones for what the Greys want. And they pass down orders, they tell others what to do, and of course the chain of command that we've established on our planet is exactly what's happening. Also, playing on the greed factor, those who are still human, they look at the fact that, well, they're here, they're the rulers. We could still maintain our place of privilege in the world, so we'll form a new priesthood. We'll be the go-between between the workers and the gods, just like we saw in Babylon, in Syria, Egypt. It's all over again. It's history repeating itself all over again, and they have no right to come down here and mess with us the way they've done that. The real strength in us, in our own permanent involvement as a race, will come from us standing up, taking a stand and saying, you know what, no way. We're not going to do this. We're not going to destroy ourselves for your enjoyment so you can feed off of us. You have no right to manipulate our governments, to create wars. 1994 Alex Collier interview by Rick Keefe. The reptoid establishment, however, has only one purpose, to attach the monkeys of the spiritual force of God and predate on them. In order to do that, it must paint a picture of death and finite constraints. Thus it builds religions out of death, and sets up barriers between the questing souls and God. It denies us eternity and says that our souls aren't but material that will perish. It says that our eternity is small and constrained, and denies us the scientific advance we need to explore. It gives the monkey no hope in a world that is a diseased slaughterhouse, and using its telepathic predators, harvests the disparate monkey solution while opening up the monkey's soul and shell to the frightening possibility of demonic reptile possession. At that point, the monkeys are faced with the science and cannot or will not explain its predicament, and telepathic reptile wise men and doctors who do know but perpetuate the disease and then hosting in the name of their ancient ancestors. The monkeys have nowhere to turn except to believe that they are mentally and spiritually diseased and blind to the reptile deceit and motives happily partake of destructive pharmaceuticals in the misplaced trust that these chemicals will make their problem go away. The only cure for mismanaged reality, however, is truth. Andrew Hennessy Chapter 4 6 Monkeys of Eden, the telepathic overlords and the slaves of Earth. I and my family were born non-telepathic, and our heritage as the planetary monkeys was only ever intended to be the fruits of derision. Such peoples with such powers as telepathy, and I believe there to be many, have revealed themselves as nothing whatsoever to aspire to. A whole hierarchy formed that all looks human runs the gamut of ascendancy from blue blood shape-shifting lizard, through very functional Aryan hybrid, to base non-telepathic monkeys like myself. The first two categories, I believe to take up 20% of the Western population. Andrew Hennessy Chapter 4 6 Monkeys of Eden, The Telepathic Overlords and the Slaves of Earth, by Andrew Hennessy. I will go into great detail about how the educational system, or what passes for it, is the foundation or the factory, if you will, that spits out these drone hive-minded individuals who are used as academic or credentialed assets such as Richard Boylan and Stephen Greer. Both of them are hosts for reptilian entities. Stephen Greer delights in leading group meditations at or near energy ley lines and interdimensional vortex areas. There is no better way to become possessed or hosted by malevolent non-human entities. Greer's facial structure is that of a classic reptilian hybrid, i.e., the eyes sunk deep into the eye sockets, the ridge over the eyebrows, the high cheekbones and sunken cheeks. However, it's his overweening arrogance and contempt for human life that gives him away. Not to mention his inability to tell the truth. When Greer arranged a meeting between members of Congress and those who had first-hand knowledge of alien technology, he prevented certain individuals from relating what they knew to be the truth. He has denied that a house next door to his late colleague was burned down by operatives working for the Deep Black government, and has denied that any of the informants involved with the aborted meeting in Washington, D.C. received threats and intimidation. He has consistently denied that he is in ill health. His circle of intimates consistently and persistently denied that there is anything wrong with him. He is a typical deceitful reptilian host. Is there any other kind? Reptilians. Understanding the Hive Consciousness by James Barley.